My dear people of Southern Cameroons, I bring you revolutionary greetings this 29th day of the month of July in the year of our Lord 2018. This video is in response to the opening address by Mr. Ekema Patrick, who is Mayor of the Boya Council, during a meeting held today with the Bakweri youth, or with the Bakweri people, because it's called a Bakweri Forum. The first thing I want to say is to point out that in as much as Mr. Ekema posited at that meeting that he convened the people in his capacity as mayor of the personality and of the municipality and the father of the entire, Boya, he came very short because the Boya municipality that he has the power to control, to administer, is not made up only of Bakwere people. I'm convinced that Mayor Kema knows that if elections were conducted today and only the Bakwere people he assembled had to vote, he would never be mayor of the Boya municipality. I recall, Mayor Kema, that while you and I did official business together, while we cooperated, myself in my capacity as journalist and you in yours as mayor, I recall how you told me too often that you had a lot of attachment to the cosmopolitan nature of the Boya municipality. And this, you said, was reflected in the manner of appointments you carried out at the Boya Council. I remember very vividly how you expressed shock and disappointment at the former mayor, Mbela Moki Charles, whom you are accused of being tribalistic, just like you did same to Senator, or rather is no longer a senator, to the former Prime Minister Peter Mafani Musonge, because you said they expressed frustration and shock that you had the guts to appoint graphy people right inside your cabinet. And you said you were taking into cognizance the cosmopolitan nature of your municipality. And you insisted that these people make up a good majority of your municipality, and by their activities, by their businesses, they are contributing so much to the development of Boya, more than even the Bakwere people that you were being tasked, to reserve some specific appointments to or for. So I think you and I can now agree that the motive of this outing you had just with the Bakweri people that you call the Bakweri Forum is completely divisive. It goes even away from your personal convictions that I know, a thing which makes me now to understand that that particular meeting was delegated from Yaoundé with the intention of simply continue the kind of division that I received, information about in the document or in the letter that was sent to me by one of our ministers serving the government of Mr. Paul Biya in Yaoundé. So that's it, Mr. Ekema. I just was highlighting that to point out that the approach that you took today simply demonstrates triumphantly why we need independence, why we need freedom, so that people like you will not find themselves being forced by a colonial administration to speak against your personal principles and convictions, to speak against the same things you spoke for yesterday, because that doesn't make you a man. It doesn't make you look like a man of integrity, a man of candor. So you and I, Mr. Ekema, we can already realize just that the premise on which you started speaking was faulty. In your address, which fortunately I received an audio of, you begin by making allusion to history. And I realized that you spent 17 good minutes struggling to demonstrate that there is no such thing as an Anglophone problem. Let me use Anglophone because that's what we were talking about. Don't forget, Mr. Ekema, that Professor Elvis Ngole tried that for several years and at the end of the day had to admit that there was indeed an Anglophone problem. I'm using the parlance you people use out there in La République. You will recall that even Atanga Ponji, the brute, the crude fellow, still found time to admit somewhere along the line that there was an Anglophone problem until they were looking for solutions for that problem. You will recall that Minister Issa Chiruma Bakari sat with 4 other members of government, among them Laurent Esso, Jacques Famendongo. There was Minister, I think, Ngale Masena Bibehe, and Yusufa Alim, where they sat together at a press conference and said that there was no such thing as an Anglophone problem. But in the end, they all admitted there was an Anglophone problem. So what you are doing is nothing new. You are simply coming to replicate what others have done, tried, panel-beaten, hit in every direction, and failed. So I don't know why you even needed to waste your time down that route. And then you went into history to touch things that were so complicated for you, my dear brother. Because I heard you say that it is at the Versailles Treaty of 1919 that the partition of Africa was determined. You forget that the partition of Africa was at a Berlin conference in 1884. And then you forget that the Versailles Treaty of 1919 simply had to do with former German colonies and how they were going to be, divided among the victorious powers. Now, you make allusion to the German Cameroon, and that we really shouldn't be bothered about the colonial, passage of the French and the British, because we should look at the wider picture of German Cameroon. But there again, you forget that that German Cameroon that you are alluding to included parts of Chad, included parts of Gabon, included parts of the Central African Republic, included parts of the Congo Republic. And I don't know, because even some books indicate that there are even parts of Equatorial Guinea that made up the German Cameroon. So, in which case, it would be important for Mr. Paul Biya and his government to go reclaim all of this once again to reconstitute that German Cameroon. Of course, you made allusion to the British Northern Cameroons that decided to join the Federal Republic of Nigeria, but they are there. So, for your one and indivisible kind of Cameroon, I don't know which one you were trying, therefore, to talk about today. So, the people of British Northern Cameroons were free to either join us or go the other way. They can still determine to tell Nigeria, to get up and tell Nigeria want to leave, because they win it by vote. So, it is normal that they can still decide to leave by vote. And it is that duty, that right, that the people of Southern Cameroons are exercising. So, when you go and try to talk about a pre-colonial Cameroon, oh wow, I wonder if you even know what you're talking about, the pre-colonial Cameroon, and then your knowledge of the pre-colonial Cameroon got limited only to the Batangas, the Sawas, and all of those things. My dear brother, for the sake of the people of Southern Cameroon, stop playing those games. And too often, don't get into areas you don't master, because the only thing they do is they break you. The only thing that kind of exercise does to you is that it reduces you to, someone who is not knowledgeable at all about the things that are happening around us. Now, you talked about the fact that the people of Southern Cameroon, whom you abusively refer to as Anglophones, don't have any problem. They should not even complain, because you have gone round all the 10 regions of Cameroon, as you put it, and you have observed that there's even more development in the southwest than in the south. Oh, wow. Mr. Ekema, thank God that I, and of course you know, that I've done all the 10 regions of Cameroon and virtually all the administrative units, such as all the divisions of Cameroon, of course, by dint of my job as a journalist and having served for 19 years in that system. You can understand that I've done all of this and having shot a lot of productions everywhere across the board. But now let me take that specific case. Don't forget that I started my career as the pioneer divisional delegate for communication in Kupeng Wanenguba. That was in 1999. So I have the opportunity. I've visited everywhere there and I've done productions there, and I will tell you right here and now, just where you falter, just where you make serious mistakes. Mr. Ekema, the very last production that I, John Bakuro, did for television, a CRTV where I work, was on energy. And that production is still being aired even on CRTV until today that I'm no longer there. Mr. Ekema, that production took me basically to the south, because we're talking energy. And curious enough, all the big structural problems were in the center southeast grid. But in this particular case, we're on the center, in the south and east. So when we went to Lompanga, that is a multi-billion project. It's in the east, not in the southwest. When we went to Mekin, multi-billion project again. That is there in the Jar and in the Intem Valley. We left again and went to Memvele. Yeah, to Memvele. Yeah, it's actually Memvele that's in the Intem Valley. To Memvele. Another giant project. Now, during this trip, what I want to draw your attention to is that I saw very well-tarred roads with no traffic. And when I asked, I was told most of these roads were leading to the farms of some of the members of government of La République du Cameroon. Yes, those are roads, well-constructed roads, but leading to farms. I don't want to take the example of other regions. Let me come down now to your southwest, which you say is most developed. Now, you say some of the worst roads are found in the south. I want you to name any because I'm going to give you a plethora of them in the southwest. Do you know that the distance from Bangem to Melon is just 33 kilometers? But Professor Elvis Ngole is listening to me as I'm talking. And I know all the Bakosi people who have had the chance to travel to Bangem know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's 33 kilometers, but there are moments where you do 7 hours on those 33 kilometers. I remember an evening, I was actually accompanying the minister for campaigns in Bangem. And when we left Bangem, when we were returning, in between Buaso and the place called Douala Up, that's the Sari, to get to Mel, we stayed on the road for 6 hours on one spot with all vehicles. I mean, 4-wheel drive vehicles, Prados and all not locked in mud. Mr. Ekema, I'm saying this to you. Now, the distance between Tombel and Bangem is about between 53 and 57 kilometers. It's actually 57 kilometers. Mr. Ekema, do you know there are seasons that nobody uses that road? Unless it's one of those old Land Rovers at the time, like what they call Bangem number 1. I think Bangem number 1 is 7 packed. That is, they don't use that road at all. So to live from Tombel to Bangem in the same division, they have to go through Melon and go around, get to Loom. And then when they get to Loom, they maybe take a bike from Loom to get to Bangem. Do you know how many 100 kilometers that ends up being? Because there are no roads. Is any road in the south worse than these ones I've called? That is just that. That means in the same Kupe Wanenguba, do you know when the Dio of Nguti, or even the mayor for that matter, wants to visit out of Nguti, for example, he wants to visit the Dembo areas that find themselves under Nguti subdivision, that Dio will leave Nguti, travel through Meme division, come and pass by Tombel, get to Loom, go round and enter the west region, Sancho, before being able to have access to parts of his subdivision. I mean a subdivision, not a division. That would be 600-700 kilometers. He can't move within Nguti subdivision because there are no roads. And when he will get to Ngwata is virtually the last place in Sancho where he will now branch off to go either to Njungo or to Mbeta. He may manage with his car well and get to Mbeta. But from Mbeta, if he has to go to Elumba, a food-producing hub, Elumba, fertile lands and everything, that you will have to trek 2 hours to get to Elumba. And now when he adventures into Njungo, that distance is less than 7 kilometers. But I bet you, I mean from Ngwata, I bet you on coming back, if he's not careful, he may need to call Caterpillars to go tow his 4-wheel drive vehicle from Njungo to climb up. Which roads are you talking about, Mr. Ekema? Now let me take just Kumba, Ekondo Titi, I don't move to Mondemba. You and I saw those armored military vehicles unable to trot those roads until they had to force our boys to go push those cars on them. Those cars which are meant to travel on all sorts of roads. They couldn't brave Kumba Mondemba. Do you have any parallel in the south that you want me to talk about? I will also take you back right inside the heart of Fako because I've done from Moyoka, I've gone through Abia. Yes, I've gone through Bafia. I've gone behind all round and come out at Ide now. Have you ever tried that road, Mary Ekema? You see how complicated that road is? Oh yes, you understand what we are talking about here. But that is a belt around the mountain, which should have been constructed so that it brings in much needed tourist revenues. They couldn't do it. And you're talking about roads. Have you been to Ekona Lelu? Because I had the opportunity of going there on a project of rainwater harvesting with Mr. Mokotonji. I think it's Chief Mokotonji. When he was mayor of Muyuka, Mr. Ekema, you can't talk about things you don't know. There is no comparison in terms of the underdevelopment of the Southwest region compared to that of the South region. That is why the people of the South region cannot complain. They wouldn't complain anytime soon. I assure you, Mayor Ekema. So stop the misinformation. I'm doing this video just to address this thing so that you and I understand that the skullduggery that you're getting into isn't going to help. You won't go through misinformation and succeed. Others better than you, I mean far better and well placed than you, have failed. And then now you talked of I must hear you for joining also say we don't want any AAC3 because first of all you are fighting thinking that maybe it's ambassador one. We don't want any AAC3 because it's not necessary. The time for dialogue is over. It is time for negotiation and it won't be anywhere near Buea, but Buea is our capital and there's nothing you can do about it, Mr. Ekema. You can't change that. Because I recall that you didn't come up to complain when the Graffiti people spearheaded the fight. I'm talking here of Professor Andrew Azonwara, when he spearheaded through the TAC, the Teachers Association of Cameroon, and fought for the creation of the GCE board. When they accepted to create it, we all said, Buea. You didn't complain. There was a Graffiti people doing. Mekema, or am I lying? Then again, when the same Graffiti people mounted pressure, we led it. All other people of the Southwest joined, the willing people. Because when I say the Graffiti people, I don't say we did it alone. Everybody joined. But we led it. You didn't complain that the university finally came. So Buea, no, you never complained. But another thing, you pick and choose and you complain. Let me draw your attention to this, Mr. Ekema. The Graffiti people and all other peoples of the Southwest live in perfect unity. And we have been fighting a lot of fights together. And we shall continue to fight these fights together. And we will get there. But I think that your action of today simply should comfort us that we are on the right trajectory. Because like I say always, if you begin a journey down a route, and the route is so smooth, nothing, no obstacle about it is leading to nowhere. But once you begin, and every turn point you meet obstacles, pursue that journey. Those obstacles are stopping you from the glory that you are going to meet ahead. And so, Mr. Ekema, be very assured that we're not going to end anytime soon until we shout victory in Buea, and you will be there because you will live to see it, and you will join us and stand behind and try to peep as we sing Ambazonia, land of freedom. I bet you, Mekema, you're going to do that. And next, lest I forget, you have refused to remember that when a Graffiti man did everything in collaboration with some tough backward people to start a shipyard project in Limbe, that should have led to the construction of a huge deep sea port project in Limbe. He was arrested. Yes, Fongina was arrested and detained by those same people you are fighting for today because they wanted to hijack the project and take it to Kribi. Of course, it is in Kribi. Whose fault is it? Choose your fight. Always make sure you are fighting the right opponent. Don't go fighting the wrong people. And now, instead of just ending there, you open a fight against the church. Mary Kema, did I hear you very well say the moderator of the Presbyterian Church is not a Southwesterner? Oh, wow. This is interesting. So you're not only opening a fight against the Graffiti people, you're opening a fight again even among the various peoples of the Southwest. Oh, wow. I guess Mr. Paul Biya is doing a good job at picking surrogates, but, you know, he should be able to find time to train those surrogates better to do, you know, a much more great job. And I even see you wondering which parish Christian Cardinal Tumi is representing. You forget that Christian Cardinal Tumi is a cardinal and it covers all of Central Africa, I think with even some other parts of Africa. Mayor Kema, don't get into areas that you definitely don't understand. And now, last point. You talked about the release of the chiefs of Ako, and you're faulting strangers for abducting them. Mayor Kema, look at me and be honest to yourself. Do you and I, can we doubt, because you and I have had occasion to talk about this, can we doubt why Chief Njombe Njoke Johnson could be the very first to be picked up in this kind of circumstances? Have you forgotten how often the people of Wokaka went to the state council's office, went to the attorney general's chambers, marched to the DO's office, marched to the governor's office to protest, marched to the SGO's office to protest against Njombe Njoke Johnson, that he was not their chief, that he was an impostor? Have you forgotten? And that they were accusing him of all sorts of ills, thrashing people in the villages, in that village, mercilessly maltreating people, creating his own prisons, detaining people in that village, and he took all the land that the CDC gave to the people of Okaka and sold the land single-handedly in complicity with the administration, and they were calling him around Njombe Dollar. Am I lying? They're not calling him around Njombe Dollar. What you fail to understand, what you don't want to see, is that a lot of those Bakweri chiefs arrested, even those who are on the list that are on the run, are being arrested by Bakweri people, by the young Bakweri children who are taking them captive to protest that bad attitude that they carried out by taking their lands to sell in complicity with the administration. And where they attack Grafi people is that the Grafi people who unfortunately had the money bought a lot of that land, but they bought it from the chiefs who offered to sell. Because recall, the chiefs offered to sell, and those who had money offered to buy, and transactions took place. But today, the youths have chosen their fight. They know who their true opponents are, that they are not Grafi people, that they are indeed those chiefs who have rid them of possessions. A lot of the complaints during meetings we had, and even as I'm talking to you, I had the opportunity to talk to Okaka people last night who were swearing that they don't intend to even see Njombe Njoke come out alive. Mayor Kema, let us be honest to ourselves. You know these problems. Nobody should come and be reminding you. So, let Bakweri people sort out the issues with their chiefs. I have a lot of respect for Bakweri people. I know they are people of integrity. I know they are people who are very receptive and welcoming. And I know that they also are people who like freedom. Don't speak in their names poorly. Don't misrepresent the Bakweri people. A few lot of you, I saw you even forgot to invite your friend Jume Franklin. You call not only an all Bakweri, but Jume Franklin was the first to start talking about fighting for Bakweri people. He forgot that he had fights. That he has fights in Tombel against groups, armed groups led by Bakosi children. Mr. Ekema, take this last message home, that whether you and the colonial administrators in Yaoundé, whose chief slave you have become, will never be able to stop the restoration train. And until we get home and live that freedom for generations of Southern Cameroonians to come, we will not stop. Have a great time, Mr. Mayor.